Hello everybody, it's Jeff Manning. This is the second part of the series where I'm doing my battery upgrade on my boat. You know, if you'd have seen the first video I made, the whole purpose of that video was to make the cables long enough to go all the way from the front to the back. Well, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to wire up that new plug and how to do the reduction, because now we're going from a number 2 wire in the back all the way to the front, and then when we get to where the plug is for the new trolling motor, they really don't make a plug big enough to plug a number 2 wire in. But because of the fact that you're running that wire already, that wire is big enough that you can have almost 0 amperage drop coming from the back to the front. So with this new connection, what I need to do is I need to reduce it down. And so what I need to do is I need to reduce that number 2 wire down to about a number 6 or a number 8. I could even reduce it plumb down to a number 10, and that would be fine because the amp draw on that trolling motor is not that high, and in that shorter distance it's not going to make a bit of difference. So I'll show you how to do that in this video. Like I said in the intro, the purpose for this video is to show you how to go from this number 2 heavy wire, which is what I ran all the way from the back of the boat all the way to the front. And like I say, this is a welding lead wire. It's used to make the actual main welding leads, like to a stinger, the welder. Now if you'll notice how thick the coating is, the jacket on this is, and it's very abrasion resistant. It's made to be drug around the ground, drug over sharp things, and it's also made to have a dead short going through it all times. So it's a pretty good material. Now the problem is trying to reduce this down to the size that you can actually wire into a trolling motor plug. So what we're going to do is, here is a number 10 wire. That's usually what's on most trolling motors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this down to this, or this down to this, I should say. Alright, let me show you how I do it. What I just use a clamp down butt connector. You can get these at Lowe's, at Home Depot. Just look in the electrical department. This one here is made for size 2 wire up to, down to about a size 14, I guess. But the beauty of this is you can put this on there, clamp these down really tight. You can coat this connection with some good spray corrosion inhibitor, and when you do that, this connection should last forever. Because most of the time, if you're going to lose any voltage or have any voltage problems going to a trolling motor, where it is where you make the connections. Where you make those connections, they start to corrode and they start to get loose. Alright, first thing you want to do is mark where you want to cut your wire, and you can see how far the wire goes up in there. So right here, you want to be careful not to cut any of the interior copper strands. There we go. Nice clean cut. I mean, it wouldn't hurt nothing if you lost a few strands. And you see this right here will go right up inside that connector. Now if you lose a couple strands here, it's not that big a deal, and the main reason why is because you're actually trying to reduce the size of this wire down to that size. So, you know, if you lose a few strands on the outside, it's not the end of the world. Alright, you see how good that went up on there. Of course I lost a few strands, but like I say, it's not that big a deal. You're trying to reduce this down, so I won't even bother to cut these off. I'll just fold them over and let them lay on the side of this, and it won't hurt a thing. Alright, let's torque it down. And the beauty of this is it's amazing how much clamping pressure you get out of that screw right there. It's going to be way tighter than any crimp fitting, where, you know, you'll talk about people crimping a butt connector down. This is going to be way tighter, because I can put my entire body weight on this. There we go. Now that that's tightened down, then I'll slide this connector right up inside this side. Clamp it down. Alright, there's a connection. There is no way it will come apart. and I reduced it down small enough to go into my plug. Alright, now that we've got this connection made, like I said, there's no way it's coming apart. I like to use a good quality terminal spray. I mean, this stuff works great. I put it on the batteries in my cars, my boats, everything. So what I'll do is I'll put just a little bit of it in here, a little bit on these connections. There we go. That right there will not corrode now, and that's what we're looking for. Like I say, slide your heat shrink over the top of it. Once you get it over the top of it, and like I say, this is a good quality heat shrink. This ain't the stuff from Harbor Freight. Even though I do use a lot of the Harbor Freight stuff. And after you get that done, you just there we go. Nice, good, solid, watertight connection. Never have any worries about that leaking or getting any water in there and corroding or degrading it down. And then after I do that, I will always take a good quality electrical vinyl tape, and I'll start back a little bit from the edge of where my heat shrink is, and I always like to do it when it's still a little bit warm from being shrunk. And you wrap that connection. Go all the way past it and then go all the way back, pulling it tight. And there we go. 2 quality reductions, sealed up, protected, and ready to roll. Now all I gotta do is wire the plug on the end of it, and we're done. Thank you for watching.